Hey Toasty friends, this is going to be a quick video on some things that recently came out of my kiln. I've been working away for the Christmas season. I wanted to host a clay day at my house. Unfortunately, my family fell a bit ill and I had to cancel it, but I did have a girlfriend come over and help me with some of these little cottages that we were making in the style of Blank Earth Ceramics. If you've ever seen her Karanuki cottage tutorial. This is a wax melter cottage, and my friend Sasha did some holly carving design on it with some underglaze. So this flips and becomes a little wax melter with a tea light in there. Very excited to get this in the kiln as soon as I can and potentially get them out for Christmas. I'm a little behind schedule. But I prepped a whole bunch of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cottages, thinking I was having 6 friends come over and help carve and decorate them and get them out as Christmas gifts to them. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, so hopefully I'll be able to schedule a new clay day. But in lieu of that, I did do some glazing on that particular day, even though I wasn't feeling so hot. So I do have a few little glaze items that came out of the kiln. All right. I'm going to reference my book here. Might be out of frame for some of this, but we will make do. All right, so I have a couple of test tiles that came out of here. I tried my hand at a hanging planter, and then I have that scalloped bowl that I was really excited about. I finally glazed it. I was hemming and hawing for so long over what glaze combination to put on here. And I actually did an experimental one without actually testing it, but it came out super cool. So we love happy wins, happy accidents, flying blind here, but I love to experiment. So anyway, let's go with a less interesting one to begin with. So I was really having a lot of fun with greens for this kiln unload, mainly because of Christmas time. I was trying to find something that was a bit Christmassy, but also interesting and eye-catching. So this is actually a pretty lovely green. The inside is not as intriguing. I tried to do some frozen pond technique, but with some different glazes. My neighbor told me she really likes this one, but for me, it's got a little bit of like the brownish, tannish running hot chowder in there. What's cool, and I don't know if you can see this on camera, is this has like a translucent, almost like oil spot effect all over it. Almost like I covered it in mother of pearl luster or something. I'm not sure if it's picking up on the camera. But it's pretty neat. So this one is Emerald Falls ×3 all over to start. And my Emerald Falls was very runny. I don't know if that's the standard. Like, is it very watery, your Emerald Falls? Let me know in the comments. And then Nori green on just the bottom half of the outside. And then I did Seaweed 3 times on the rim and the entire inside. So maybe I actually didn't do running hot chowder in this. I thought for sure that was frozen pond on the inside. Maybe I'm crazy. No, it says I just did a wavy overlap on the outside of the Emerald Falls and the Nori green. So all that inside is from Seaweed, I guess. I might have to go back and look at my process photos. I could swear I put running hot chowder dots. Anyway, so a first for me, I started playing around with glass in my kiln, which I know is kind of a controversial topic. I have so many glass baby food jars lying around for my kids that I thought, I'll give it a go. So this plate is actually textured autumn ×2 all over. And then I did a frozen pond technique on the top with running hot chowder ×3 and soft red over it ×2. Which you really can't tell. Now that I put the glass on here, I thought it would pick up more of the glaze technique underneath, but it kind of just spreads everything out. So I'll have to keep that in mind. I might just do like a single glaze underneath from now on. But you can kind of see on the edges some of that textured autumn and soft red interaction, I think. Let me see that. Still very interesting. And this was on, I think this is B-Mix with Speckles. Just a tester. I didn't even sign it or anything. The next thing we had was the Scalloped pedestal bowl, which I'm very excited about. So, I'll just show you my notes. So this was, oh, it might be backwards. Soft red ×1 inside. My notes are a little crazy. Soft red ×1 inside and out on the rim. I'll just show it to you first. It's very cool. So it came out a mixture of matte and glossy, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect it. The rim came out very matte here and then very glossy here. And we've had a runaway drip that got a little bit of my kiln shelf. Thank goodness I just refinished my kiln shelves. I finally took the dive and bought an angle grinder and repaired them because they were covered in glaze. And I'm not holding my breath for Advancer kiln shelves this Christmas. Look at the inside. Very cool. Something is tinging at me. I don't think it's this one. Something, oh, maybe. There's something behind me. Okay. So, this was soft red ×1 inside and the outer rim. Textured autumn ×2, the inside bottom 2/3. And outside. Then soft red ×1 for the inside top third. And I'll put a process photo. It's gonna be really cool. Trim the bottom, put a little foot on it. And then I did dots of Nori green ×2 and dots of running hot chowder ×2 sandwiched in between the Nori. So I went through, did dots of Nori green, then a dot of running hot chowder on top of the Nori green, and then dots of Nori green again. So the running hot chowder sandwiched in the Nori, if that makes sense. And then miso in a band outside and inside. So I believe I did the miso band somewhere around here, and maybe that's what made it matte. Is miso typically matte? I feel like it came out matte on some of my test tiles. But yeah, look at that thick drip, thick drip. It's very cool. I missed these. All right. The next was a bit of a fail, but a learning experience. So I tried my hand at doing a hanging planter. So I've got some holes in here to add a rope to hang this. I didn't put drainage in it. It's decorative. I actually slip trailed the bottom of this. And this was my first attempt at slip trailing. So I probably have some video of that, and the bottles that I used for slip trailing, which I just got off Amazon. That was a bit of a process trying to keep the slip thin enough and not clogging the bottles. But yeah, I finally found a happy flow there. So this is Nori green ×2 from here down to about where these like nail head looking round slip trailing starts. So Nori green, June bug all over the bottom because I wanted it to be like a cool mirror finish. And then seaweed in a band ×2 overlapping in the middle. But I accidentally did a first coat on this band in June bug. So June bug kind of is on the bottom and then a little bit here with seaweed over it and Nori green with a bit of June bug and seaweed over it. So a couple of things. The mirror finish came out. I don't know how well we can see it here. Maybe if I move you back towards the light a bit more. So there is like a chrome, I'll put pictures. You can see kind of that chrome spotted effect, maybe right there. That came out beautifully, even though I've read that you shouldn't fire a slow cool with this, and I did use the Camille Hoffman method. So it is a slow cool. I've read that June bug doesn't fully like mature in a slow cool environment, but it seems to be doing all right for me. And I do get that like oil spot effect as well that you would expect from June bug. But tons and tons of pinholes, womp womp, where the seaweed, June bug, and Nori overlap. So they did not play well together. I don't know what I can do to maybe refire this and remedy that. And maybe the kiln just didn't get hot enough. Like it was pretty much a cone 5. And this was on the middle shelf, but it was not a packed kiln. It was a very small amount of work in there. I got some crawling here too, which doesn't make sense to me because it was fired this way. So you would think that it would have dripped in that direction. But look at that. Like that did not adhere very well. And I don't think I did that when I was, cleaning off the rim. I don't think that was me. So I don't know what caused that not to stick. Except that my 3-year-old likes to come in and play with my bisqueware. So maybe he handled it and maybe some of his skin oils or something got on it. But I don't know, maybe I should scratch this up and... All right, apologies that I did not have a chance to finish this before because my phone alerted me that I was running out of space. Anyways, YouTube problems. The lighting is a little bit different in here now, but I will do my best to share the rest. So, on this travel tumbler, it went a bit matte inside. I wonder if this is the textured autumn. All right, 3rd time's a charm. And I'm a mess because I've been around toddlers. But anyway, travel tumbler. So, see my little sketch. So, this is on Phoenix with Speckles. And this is artificial lighting at this point. You can kind of see the pattern this created. And this has like a very mirror finish, like almost metallic finish in places. And then on the inside, I think it was better to see during the day, but it was like, it's like completely matte in there. I don't think there's a way I can show that. But I'll take a picture in the sunlight. But anyway, this is Emerald Falls ×3 all over. Textured Autumn ×2. From the top down to about the middle. A band of Seaweed ×3 across the middle. And then Running Hot Chowder dots ×3 in the top half. And I kind of stagger them, so it's like 2 dots and then a dot in the middle, and so on and so forth. So 2 rows of dots staggered. And then Seaweed, a little bit of Seaweed also on the rim. And then Nori ×2 over the Running Hot Chowder in a band. So I sandwiched the Running Hot Chowder dots between the base layer of Textured Autumn over that Emerald Fall, or Textured Autumn, sorry, on the top half. The Running Hot Chowder dots are sandwiched between Textured Autumn and then Nori as the top glaze, with just a little bit of Seaweed on the rim. So this is like the interaction between the Seaweed and the Nori green, and then the Running Hot Chowder with the Textured Autumn showing through underneath. And I think it's that Textured Autumn that creates a little bit of a matte finish, because the inside, I believe, was fully, how can I show this? The inside was like fully Textured Autumn. With just a little bit of Seaweed dripping down. But anyway, yeah, that's the gist of it. And I do have a couple of test tiles. I think my Kiln favorite is the pedestal bowl for sure, which I'm gonna take some photos of this in the light. I love the shape of it, and I think that this combo was really cool. I'm not even mad about the matte rim, matte to glossy. It lends some interesting juxtaposition. And I'm very excited about sandwiching the Running Hot Chowder between 2 dots of a different glaze, because that just came out really beautiful with the Nori green sandwiched around the Running Hot Chowder dots. I love that. All right. So this is my first try at slip trailing. And got my throwing slip here. It's a Redbird mince bucket. The holidays coming up. I'm obsessed with those chalky dessert peppermints. The puffed mints. I don't really know what they're called. Candy puffs. I'm gonna get this box open and check it out. Pattern is joining us. He's a little bit needy. I cannot cuddle him while my hands are covered with clay. It's too much dust for you, Pattern. Pattern is named after a character in Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archives. If you know, the Spren are mystical creatures in that world. Okay, so I think these are all the same size. They all have different colored tips. I'm not sure which one will remind me that this is Speckled Buff. I'm probably gonna have to clean it out anyway, so using the best camera setup for this. I'm gonna move this over here a little bit. Hopefully not drop my phone right on the piece Okay, that works. Just suctioning it up into there. All right, that was fairly easy. Pattern. Don't climb the mountain of things because it'll just topple over, you know it. Come on, get over here. Trying to get up to high ground, as high as possible. Cats always want to be on high ground. I'm gonna have to kick you out because you're causing a ruckus. Come here. You want to do a video? You're just a little baby? All right, you've been on video. Do you feel better about it now? Okay. A little sponge. Just wipe off the excess. Hopefully I didn't splatter any on the piece, but I did splatter some on my wedging board while I was filling that. It's kind of a note to self. Okay, we'll put that aside. So this pot, I was trimming it and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could make like some kind of slightly bumped out, like conical ornament shape design for it. Just kind of whimsical shape. Let's see, there we go. Wouldn't it be cool if it was like kind of whimsically shaped, but it got a little wonky, so I'm using it as my test trailing, slip trailing subject. And I'm gonna poke a couple holes in this, hopefully if it's not too dry, so that it can be a little hanging planter. I should do that first. Let me poke the holes first. First thing is first. And the question is, I don't know, is my needle tool and all of that downstairs? Probably. So this is just a paintbrush, like a cheap kid's paintbrush that my son had, and the metal part kept falling off, and I was about to throw it in the trash, but then I was like, you know what, I bet you I could use this end to like make holes or scratch something up. So we're gonna try to make a hole with it and see what happens. Might even be able to use this side. There's like a little bit of texture on this end where the glue used to be. And if this doesn't work, I'll go get my actual hole punch. Probably in danger of wrecking the rim on this. But it feels like it's working. Yeah, that worked. See? Anything can be a pottery tool. So reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what they always told us. Yeah, that made a fine hole. I'll be able to fit some like macrame string through there or something. Or some cord once it's fired. Cool. All right, we'll do the same thing. Maybe like 3 holes. Should probably kind of figure this out. So how far down did I go? About as far as that is. Somewhere in here. It's about right. I'm not in the habit of measuring things. Kind of just eyeball. Generally speaking, my eyeballs don't usually fail me, which is good. getting a little dry. Hopefully this is still a good time to slip trail it. I don't really know much about slip trailing. There we go. I can hear my son outside. I don't think the video is going to pick him up. And I hear my husband's shushing him because the baby is asleep downstairs. All right, last one over here, somewhere about there. Somewhere about there. Oh wow, that side went right through. I wonder if that means it's more dry or more wet. All right, I have to be gentle. Okay. I usually have some type of So I was making a fruit bowl in my last round of growing, and my bottom got too thin. So I have this ring of clay. The bottom fell out, but I've been using it now as kind of like a chuck for carving and stuff, because I can load it up with bags, kind of cushion my piece, and it like will hold it there from rolling around. It's really good for mugs. I can stand the mug on their side. So I'm considering just bisque firing it and keeping it as like a little ring to just assist me when I'm decorating. I really want to get a banding wheel so I can spin my pieces, but even this could boop on top of a banding wheel, and I think be pretty helpful. I wish the tripod was not in the video, but I think this is the best we're gonna get for now. All right, no idea how to slip trail. We're just gonna go for it. Hopefully it doesn't get clogged. Huh, all right. Maybe I'll alternate the size. This is working out really well so far. You can kind of go back if one's not big enough, or if it's like a little lopsided. It's really cool. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. All right, maybe just like a couple rings. Should I space them out? I'm not gonna be too precious about it. I don't know if I want it to be like perfectly symmetrical. Might be kind of cool if it's not. Then maybe I'll do like a couple radiating out. That could be fun. I saw a woman online saying she used to be a henna artist, and then it translated really well to slip trailing, which makes total sense. I've never done henna. I have done face painting before, which is really fun. And I never really stuck with it or anything, but I was thinking it'd be fun to do it again, especially when Halloween was around. My mother is in a craft group where where she lives that they do this like dot art. So she would probably really like slip trailing. That one's a little close, but we're just feeling it out. I think I might do the inverse of that and make these ones more like arrows. Kind of lost count. Did I do 3 or 4? Okay, there was like a piece there blocking me. I didn't want it to squirt. That is definitely different. I wonder, I guess I can try and, yeah, it comes right off. Well, that's pretty cool. So, how did I do that? Why is this one so far away? Make this one a little bigger. This one has a little air bubble. Can you see that? I like alternating sizes, so like some looks a little more delicate than others. Now it kind of looks like a square. I wonder if I should add some round arches. That would be interesting. I think I'm going to go up. This design doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I kind of like that about it. It's just this like pure experimentation, and if it doesn't work out, that is totally fine. I've been practicing so much like wheel throwing, and it's like how many, I wonder if I can do like a little whoop. It's like how many rectangles or how many cylinders can you really throw before you need to experiment with something else? Oh, another air bubble, you see it? That one got stuck. Maybe I can make these guys really beefy. That'd be fun. Do I want to clean that one off? I don't know. I knew something like that was coming out, was about to come out, because it's getting a little funky. This might be good to scrape it off. This is like a dragon scale tool. Maybe I'm gonna need like tiny pieces of sponge to clean up my mistakes. Hopefully that won't be visible. Those ones don't look as dainty as this side. That's okay. Could do something in here too. I don't want to go too crazy with it. And these little ones already look like they're kind of fading into the background, so I'm going to make them a little bigger. adding to them feels a little weird because it's trying to make it, it's a little crunchy in there. It's making it higher instead of wider. So I recently bought the glaze that's called Junebug, and that's the one I'm picturing for this. Because on the bottle, it's an Amaco glaze, and on the bottle, it doesn't break over texture. And on the bottle it had some hobnail looking pieces. So I thought that would be really cool. I'm gonna make this go out now that I've done that. That could be neat. So anyway, my husband is going out tonight. He usually goes for a long bike ride on Friday nights and usually ends up at the beach because we live in Florida. And even though it's technically fall, it's still like 80 degrees here. He likes to go out and have his solitude on Friday nights, and I tend to do my stuff more during the week. So he was like, I'm gonna be leaving around 7, but I'm happy to watch the kids until I go. So you can have some pottery time. And we love that. We love that. We love that. Because pottery takes a long time. I was getting discouraged for a while right after my second was born because I felt like I had to push pause on my hobby, even though I was doing it while I was pregnant with him. I wasn't glazing a whole lot. I was mostly just throwing stuff on the wheel because I wasn't sure about if there would be any fumes with glazing. But now it's kind of a balancing act as to whether I get kid-free time while I'm doing my pottery, or if I end up bringing them along with me. I've been trying to get them to do, see, I can spin it and everything, that's cool. I've been trying to get them to do like Play-Doh, well, not them, I shouldn't say them because the little one can't, obviously, to do like Play-Doh alongside, but I feel like at least my oldest is not super into that. He wants to be doing exactly what I'm doing. So if I'm doing this, he wants to be doing real clay with mama. We've successfully made, he has successfully helped me glaze a whole bunch of test tiles, which has been nice. I like the whimsy of this because it is definitely not symmetrical. I'm not making, like, forcing myself. I'm being a little bit symmetrical, but I'm not like forcing it. Kind of looking where I think something needs a little flourish, and then I'm making a flourish. There's a gap here, let's fill that. Kind of cool. I love a teardrop shape. I don't know why, I just love it. Okay, now the question is that gonna be way too subtle on a planter? And maybe I'll do some like bigger drips going around. I think I'm gonna do some big drips. I'm gonna go all the way around and do really big drips. Uh-oh. I feel like I have a clog. I want to say this came with some type of like unclogging pin. Maybe it didn't. There we go. What do you think of that? I don't know how I feel about this now. These ones are a bit much. These are a bit much. I think I like it. I have to start from there and go back. Okay, I feel like we don't want to make too many mistakes because I feel like I have to take off one or two when I do that. I feel like once I get through the bottom on this, am I gonna want to do more? And is it gonna need something on the sides? Like it's gonna look so plain on the sides. Are these the same size even? Clogged. Maybe I'm getting too precious with it now. Don't love that one. Yeah, all of a sudden, man. Afraid if I give it too much force, I'm just gonna break the bottle. Let me see if I can like mix it up. Yeah, that'll make a difference. Seems to be happening faster and faster now. Because this slip drying out. This slurry I had at the top was a little clumpy. Going back to yellow, that was the first one I had. Maybe yellow was good luck. Made it the furthest with yellow. There we go. Oh, that's a little better. You know, I was doing much smaller increments before, and I think what's happening is this section, it's like the air isn't coming back, so it's not getting as much leverage on the next pull. Yep, that was getting a bit clogged. Maybe I can run a sponge over these when they're leather hard to get them back to more uniform ball shape. I feel like some of these are getting little tips on them. All right, what do we think of that? I feel like I'm decorating a cake. I don't know. Where do we go from here? Could do some other like swirl teardrops. Obviously can't do the rim. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. In between, I'll do like, oh, maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. You can't see what I just did. Maybe. Now I'm just gouging it while I clean it up. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. Oh, it looks like it's missing that part of the circle. There we go. I don't know, teardrops. Could be fun. All right, it's gonna be fun. Pipe on a circle, drag it down with the tip. Pipe on a circle, drag it down with the tip. Just making this up as we go. Pipe on a circle, but it gets clogged. Oh, maybe I need to tap it in between. Pipe on a circle, drag it down with the tip. All right, we're getting a flow here now. Whoop. My aunt was saying she wants one of my planters, so I was thinking if this comes out decent, maybe I'll surprise her with it. Maybe I just want to do a couple rows and not go crazy, because if it breaks or doesn't come out, I won't be as heartbroken. It's kind of a test. Now we're getting momentum because I have this at a downward angle. The bottle itself is at a downward angle and the tip is poking upward. It's kind of like the same as if I were to tap it on the table each time. Seems to be working out really well. These little things remind me of sunflower petals. They got much bigger as I went around. All right. I feel like that's pretty good. I like it. We're gonna have to wait for that to dry before we can do any more, so maybe that's all for tonight. Let's not drop my phone on it on the way down. It's pretty cool. It's neat texture. My lamp is casting a crazy glow. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you liked anything or had any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions or comments or tips for me, let me know in the comments. I love seeing and chatting with you guys. You know, any subscribes definitely helps a small channel like me and helps me, you know, feed my clay addiction and keep myself accountable and going. It takes some effort to really edit these videos, and I probably won't do a lot of editing on this one, but just, you know, maintaining all of this footage and putting it out there is kind of...
Mom, don't forget your cup.
Thank you. Do you want to be on?
Yes.
On the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Are you keeping me hydrated so I can do all the clay things? All right, time to go. Signing off. Stay toasty, friends.